When I first started to make art, I had this terrible dilemma because I'd always been kind of a political woman, very active in the trade union movement, very active as a feminist. And the first pieces of art I made, I wanted to be polemic. And they were a bit crass, really, and didn't kind of express kind of another side of me. And it wasn't until one day when I was playing, really, in the print room with colour, that suddenly I kind of knew what I wanted to do. When I started working this way, I didn't know much about stain painting. It's only subsequently, of course, that I started to research it. Really, it comes out of the abstract expressionists. It's a move on from Jackson Pollock and his drips. Helen Frankenthaler, who probably started out, first woman or first person really who did stain painting, looked at Pollock's work, and she could see other possibilities in the way he worked. Well, my work comes from a variety of different sources, but it's always an emotional response to maybe a personal situation or quite often a political situation. I've done work that reflects my experiences within the women's liberation movement. I've done a direct response to political happenings like the bombing of Beirut. More recently, I've just done some work that is about the oil leak in the Gulf of Mexico. But I don't try to represent those actual events on the canvas. It is actually how I'm emotionally affected by those events that you see actually in front of you. So here I am, blank canvas on the floor, middle of the studio, idea in my body. I feel it through my whole body, not just through my head or my gut. And I tend to sit with the blank canvas. I might prowl around, and then something moves me, and I go and make up a colour. I don't know exactly what it is, but once I then have made up the colour, I go back to the canvas and pour. That process of actually making the paint is all part of producing an end result. Each colour I put down is made at that moment where something tells me about what colour I'm going to use. And there is something instinctive somewhere within me that my colour, I feel, always achieves some sort of balance and harmony. To pour my paint onto the canvas, I work from a crouching position. It sounds very uncomfortable. In actual fact, I find it quite a natural position to be in. And there's something about being in this relationship to the canvas which is right for me, right for the work. And there's always felt something very feminine about it, something that delineates it kind of as women's work. I don't know exactly why, but in my head almost I'm doing this in my bare feet in the sand. This probably is about halfway through. It is, and the shades of blue are very deliberate. It's about what's happening under our seas. It's about what we do on top of our seas that affects the life underneath our seas. There are areas of it that, at the moment are quite dark, that kind of hint at maybe not calmness, but kind of turbulence. I don't know quite what's going to happen to it next. We shall see. I mean, I see the way in which I paint as kind of a conversation or a dance going on between my intellect, my visual senses, and the paint on the surface of the canvas. A dance that's got some form, but slightly loose, out of control.